Okay, moving on to waivers. First name on here, I was shocked to see that Beto's still only 50% owned. He's a forward. He needs to be owned in every league right now. I think Moyes has just turned the whole team around, and Beto is scoring goals. Well, and I think the only reason that I don't think he's owned more is because of the January transfer window and like the Rashfords and the Asensios and all these guys kind of moving
Yeah.
around. And so I think he's kind of flown under the radar, but he has been looking really good, and on an Everton team that's been looking really good. And neither his name nor Everton have been really associated with high scoring attackers recently, but that could be changing with Moyes there.
And
Not
it's
that
also
Moyes
not
has
a
ever been associated with high scoring attack, but you know what I mean. Like the team just looks so much better.
and it's also not a coincidence that the team looks better when Beto became a starter. He plays a huge factor for that.
Totally, fully agree. So I think that's my number one. I think my number two is Mikel Merino, 33% owned. He's a mid, but he's came on as a makeshift striker. We talked about for Arsenal, scored 2 goals, rescued the win for them. You know, I don't expect him to like be a godsend, you know, but I also think that in a good Arsenal team with the type of player that he is and what his skill sets are, I think he can knock a few in. So I think it's just like a no-brainer. It's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of a weird one, but hey, why not?
You always want to have on players on good teams, especially midfielders and attacking defense all across. So yeah, hopefully he plays the false nine. Then he'll have I think he'll have a monster year the rest of the year.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's going to be that much of a false nine. I think he'll literally be playing like a striker.
Like striker?
Yeah, I legitimately think that's how it's going to look. But we'll see. It could be interesting. I'll definitely be tuning in next, like what the lineup looks like. Very curious. Next, Vicario, 37% owned. I mean, you know, keeper's a weird one, but he just looks so good on his return. And, you know, with Tottenham, you're not really guaranteed clean sheets by any means. If anything, you're guaranteed like to not have clean sheets. And it was a bit of a freak anomaly that they got one against United, although United's been struggling. But I think with him, it's just there's gonna be a lot of shots on target, and he's a proven shot stopper.
A lot of shots,
yeah. So that's the value there. Next name on here, Tottenham, in honor of Enzo. Jed Spence, 28%. He just keeps looking better and better for Tottenham. I think every week, I think his last 2 games are 18.25 and 20.75 points. The only concern is Udagi was on the bench, so like I don't know, but I just can't see him not starting. He's looked so good. He's just been such a complete player for them. I think Udagi by the end of the season, before his injury, was really like making some mistakes and not looking the best. So I really think Jed might have locked down that position.
I think it is. I don't see Udagi playing in,
Yeah. So that's good. The next name on here is Joachim Andersen. He's been kind of in and out of teams, but his last 4 games have all been really solid. Not quite every single one double digits, but like I think maybe 3 out of 4 double digits, and the other 2 like high single point games. Fulham is hot, so just ride the lightning with that one. I think that's just an easy one. The next name is Patrick Dorgu. Dorgu? How do you pronounce it? Dorgu?
You're asking the wrong person for pronunciation.
Patrick Dorgu, Man United, the left wing back. He actually played on the left, which I liked because I was really weirded out by the fact that he played on the right side in his debut. And he's owned 40% of leagues. I didn't think United looked particularly good, but he still managed to get like 9.25 points or something like that.
United defenders produce points.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think too that with the chance that he could potentially have some attacking threat, we've talked about wing backs being a cheat code. I think he's interesting. 40% owned. He should be owned higher. For that reason. Last name on here, Evan Ferguson, who's kind of I'm trying to champion. I'm like trying to make him a thing. What's the line? What's the thing from Mean Girls? Stop making fetch a thing. Stop saying fetch. Evan Ferguson's my fetch. Owned in 43% of leagues. He's a forward. He came on to look good in the second half against, was it Brentford? Did they play?
Yeah.
Against Brentford. I think the biggest thing for me is like he looked so good at Brighton for a while. Like, he was like the guy. Like he was like Liam Delap like last year. You know what I mean? And Potter was the guy who gave him his debut, and I think he's going to be starting in that team soon because West Ham does not look good from an attacking standpoint. I think he kind of brings a little bit of focus to the front line in that team.
He has 2 starts for the year. That's the alarming thing. So once he moves into the starting position, if he gets moved in there, then we'll have a better idea of what he'll be capable of.
Totally. Yeah, it's very speculative. I said it's like I kind of wrote worth a flyer if you have like a flimsy bench spot. That like you just have someone that's not really contributing. You kind of know who he is, like maybe like Danny Welbeck type. I don't know, maybe not even Welbeck to be honest, because he's been kind of consistent. But like Something that you're just like, I don't know if I really want to start this guy. I don't really have a lot of faith in him, but I just need numbers. I think Ferguson might be worth picking up, and just for that chance that he could become the starting striker for a West Ham team or Graham Potter team that could improve, could get better. All right, that's waivers, and that is it. Anything else we want to talk about, Tiko?
Keith, can I go through like the top 10, 15 players that had the points for this past game week?
Why, are they all your players?
No, they're just all players that it's none of the top players that we're used to.
Okay, let's hear it.
So Marmoush, Minte, Nawari, Ryan Christie, Alcaraz, Beto, Mikel Merino, Rashford, Sasa, Lukic, Mateta, Traore, Vicario, fucking Suleiman. It's just no Haaland, obviously Saka's injured, no Palmer, no Salah. It's just kind of, when I looked at it, I was like, oh, this is crazy.
Yeah,
like none of them, like this.
No first round picks.
No first round picks.
Or maybe not even any second round picks. In any rational league, I don't know if people might have picked Rashford up, but
Rashford probably went second, but yeah.
Not really. Like, he shouldn't have gone second, right?
No, at all. The highest player is Luis Diaz, 15th, that he should have been picked maybe in the first 3 rounds. That's it.
Yeah. So I mean, that's good. It's good for the game when that's happening.
Yep.
But yeah, so those are the games. I think kind of what we were talking about. There's been a lot of injuries, so we just wanted to talk about them. I think some of them we've kind of talked through already, but some of them we can also talk about. First one, obviously the big one, is Kai Havertz, torn ACL, torn hamstring, rest of the season. Did you hear that, how he did it?
No, was it practice or?
Practice blocking a shot.
Huh. So the ball hit his hamstring?
No, I think he probably lunged and then ripped it.
Or
something planted or something. Martinelli, hamstring DB, I think it's going to be at least 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So I think between the two of those injuries, we talked about Merino, we talked about Wari. I think Sterling had such a bad game that, like, I don't know if he plays again. First,
yeah,
it's bad. I mean, holy shit, what happened?
I wonder if they'll try playing MLS Miles Lewis Skelly up top as well, and putting one of their other defenders when they get healthy as left back.
Yeah, I think that's a very viable. We have to remember that Trossard is still there as well.
Yeah.
So there's some options, but I think Uwari is pretty locked. I think Trossard's pretty locked. I think Merino could be the striker, but I also, like, you never know. But I think that's like a very viable situation there.
Yeah.
Next one, Nico Jackson, torn hamstring, out 6 to 8 weeks. Pretty devastating for Chelsea. I think, there's some people like Sergey who think that Nico Jackson is trash and don't understand how important he is for the team. But I think you'll see how bad it is when he's not there. And I think we kind of saw that already with the Nkunku thing. Tiko, you were really quick to pick up Nkunku in both our leagues when this injury news dropped. How are you feeling about that now?
I think I dropped him in one of the leagues, if not two. But the only reason I would have held on to him, Nkunku, because he has proved that he scored during like the FA Cup and whatnot. It's just I needed defenders, so I picked up on defenders and I had to drop off Nkunku. But I think Nkunku will be productive, Keefe. I know you're low on him, but I think he's going to be productive for Chelsea. And I feel like you're trying to add him right now.
I'm not, but I was like kind of being lower on him. I'm 6 I didn't want you to have him, but I also don't know if I would pick him up because I just haven't seen it. I haven't seen it in the Premier League. I haven't seen it with Maresca. I just don't think that's his position. I feel like there's a lot of factors that just are bumming me out, and I think it's maybe partially because I've seen too much Chelsea.
Yeah.
I'm like too close to the project, but
I had the 2 goalkeepers, so I was like, why not?
Totally. No, it made sense for you. Holland, it looked like he came off the field in a little bit of a pain. Nothing's really been announced otherwise, but I think it's something to keep an eye on,
He's playing. I think he's even playing tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think he's going to play tomorrow. I think even if he has to get like an injection, I think he'd play tomorrow. It's such a big game.
Yeah, just give some
I think I'd be more worried about. Yeah, exactly. Give him ketamine. I think I'd be more worried about him in the Premier League, maybe because I could see if he has some sort of like injury or discomfort, I could see him playing tomorrow and then having to rest on the weekend. So that's kind of the concern. Grealish hamstring, not that relevant. I mean, it was interesting that he started that first game and actually he looked decent before he got injured against Madrid.
I was so happy he was starting. He got so upset when he got hurt.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's fine. Akanji, abductor injury, TBD, not that relevant in my opinion. And Die for Everton was actually kind of a blow. So
Yeah, he was having a good year.
he was having a pretty good year, and I think especially with Brett McNeil out, I don't know where the creativity comes in that team, but like they've kind of managed to figure it out even without him. So we'll see what happens there. I think that's maybe where Alcaraz maybe is interested because he's kind of that he with McNeil out and with Ducouré out and with what's his name out who we were just talking about, like his name because I looked away and Die out. That's maybe where Alcaraz comes in. So maybe I'm talking myself into that being a little bit more interesting of a player than I initially thought. But I also think like Ducouré will be back next week. You know, he was just had sort of that suspension for the fight that he got with like that tussle at Liverpool. So
yeah,
we'll see.
It's a 1 week thing.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. But just something to keep an eye on. And Ciso, question mark on his injury. I think that he was already like borderline. Like he was pretty speculative. He had one game for Ipswich that's okay. I don't really foresee much happening there. You know?
Yeah, it's
like I think you just assume he's gonna be out for a while. Hwang Hee-chan, I don't even think it's worth talking about. I don't even know why he's on this list.
he just likes Wong.
Wong, yeah, that's a big Wong fan.